Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Amy controls Deathbonnet Sprout and Firmament Sage. She knows that the top card of her library is a creature card, and she also knows that it's going to be transitioning from day into night this turn. She wants to mill the creature card before she draws a card with Firmament Sage. Is this possible? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need to know in order to answer this question is when exactly the game transitions from day to night. As you can see here, that happens during the player's untap step. Now, at first you might think that this is some bad news for Amy, because the trigger event for the Firmament Sage is before the trigger event for the Deathbonnet Sprout, and that's the opposite order from the way that she wants to resolve these two abilities. However, let's take a moment to consider exactly how triggered abilities work. Anytime a triggered ability triggers, it doesn't go on the stack right away. Rather, after the trigger event happens, that just puts the trigger into a kind of a holding zone. And it's not going to go onto the stack until the next time a player would get priority, at which point all of the triggered abilities that have triggered since the last time this happened are going to be put onto the stack. There's an analogy I like to use for this where a bunch of fairies are in charge of triggered abilities in Magic, and anytime they see a triggered event happen, that cues them to put that triggered ability onto a whiteboard. Anytime a player is about to get priority, that cues them to take all the triggered abilities from the whiteboard and move them onto the stack. So how does that pertain to this question? Well, we can see that in the untap step, Amy is going to have the trigger event for her Firmament Sage happen. Now, no player gets priority during the untap step, which means that this triggered ability is not going to go onto the stack until the upkeep, by which time the trigger event for the Deathbonnet Sprout will have also occurred. That means that when Amy is putting the triggered abilities on the stack, she'll see that both of those triggered abilities are on the whiteboard, and because she controls both of them, she will be the one to decide what order they are put onto the stack. She can choose whatever order she wants. There's no rule that says that a player has to choose an ordering that corresponds to the times when those triggered abilities actually triggered. Accordingly, it is possible for Amy to choose the ordering that makes it so she mills first and then draws a card second. Pretty cool trick, right? And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.